Now around this time, it must have been like when I was about 9 or 10. And again, well, I suppose it was just all over the place, just a young fella. Heck, no much. But you were there. You were living with us at 219 still as well, on and off. And I remember you and Dixie, you fellas never ever held your coins. Now, no crap. When you used to go to work and I would just like quickly have a look in your room, because I know if I went in there and you were, if you caught me, you would have given me a good kick in the ass. I'd have a look and there would be huge, big, like glass containers full of like 10s, 20s, 50-cent coins, because you fellas didn't hang on to change, and you chuck them all in there. And I remember I didn't, one night I didn't cut the kindling for the old lady, but I got there in the end. The old man almost gave me a hiding for it. I still remember that. That was my own fault. Should have just did what I was doing. Too much of a daydreamer back then when I was a young fella. But in light of all of that, though, I just remember when you'd come and tell me, you go, nah, what are you doing? And I'll go, no, nothing, bro. Well, I wouldn't say nothing. Nothing, Tom. Get changed. And I'm going, why? Because we're going down to the pizza parlour. And, my eyes would have gone, boom! And then I would have gone, yeah. Because at that age, like, you didn't have PlayStations 3s and 4s and all these other technological gadgets you got nowadays. So Spaceys was a big thing. And that meant that Tom was either going to take one of his big glass things of, like, coins with him, or else he was going to take part of it. So he took part of it that night, put it in his bag, and then we jumped in his car. And he always used to tell me, see, you wouldn't get a hiding nard if you just did what you were told to do. Do what the old man says, and you won't get a crack. But what do you do? I ended up getting a hiding, so that was my own fault. But with it all, again, you used to dress up real cool, and so I got dressed the best I could, and then just told Mum that I was coming with you, and I jumped in your car. Okay, so jumped in your car, and we were on our way down to the pizza parlour. And then you must have given me about $10 to $15 worth of 20s. And I loaded them all into my pocket. And that night, I still remember it because the games that I got to play, I'd never been able to afford them ever again, or before. But it was, I'll never forget them, playing all those games. And I got to play games that I normally would never play because I'd hardly have the money to do so. But I remember that, bro. And that was one of the cool things as a kid when you used to take me on those sort of little things. And then we would do that. And then I'd jump back into your car. So by the time we get home, must have been about, 9:30, 10 o'clock. But coming back from the pizza parlour, after playing heaps of Spaceys and stuff, we'd be in your car. And the next thing I know, I'd hear this in your car, bro, when there were no CDs, no like Bluetooth thing to anything. It was all just tapes. Whenever I hear this stuff, it just brings me back. It just reminds me of things. So yeah.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself in another part of the world, and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, And you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone,
Once in a lifetime.
water flowing underground. And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself, where is that large automobile? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water
I
flowing
love you, Marco.
into the blue again. After the money's gone,
Once in a lifetime.
water flowing underground. Same as it ever was.
It's the same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the blue again. After the body's gone.
Once in a lifetime.
Water flowing underground. You may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house? You may ask yourself, where does that highway go to? And you may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? And you may say to yourself, my God, what have I done? Letting days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the blue again. Into the silent water.
Once in a lifetime.
There is water underground. Letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the blue again.
Now, another thing I still always remember, bro, is that you used to do things to me that were always to crack me up, like toughening up techniques. You used to go, it's time for toughening up techniques. And I never understood what that was. So when you're like bloody 9 and 10, you're wondering, oh no, what's happening here? What is he going to do? Now I used to think, now that I'm an adult, I couldn't do this to a kid, but now that I think about it, it cracks me up. But what Tom used to do was that he'd have these huge, big, munty farts, and then he would put my head between his legs, and then he would make me take 5 deep breaths, and I'd be holding up, oh, no, I can't, 5 deep breaths, Nard, you got to take 5 deep breaths. No, 5 deep breaths, and then in the end I couldn't hold my breath any longer, then I'd have to take 5 deep breaths. And they were just, all it was just his bloody fart that I had to sit there and bloody breathe in, man. Oh, it cracks me up. I still remember all of that. Another thing I remember too about that time as well, the old man on a Sunday used to love watching cricket in the summers, and I couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand watching cricket with him. But then I remember one time, we always had that old cricket bat. It was an old Lance Cairns cricket bat. Been batted around. I don't know if it was yours, bro. But we used to like set up a cricket wicket just outside the door there. You just come down a little bit. We'd set up a cricket wicket against the fence, not Mr. Symes's fence, but the other fence, the other neighbours, those fellas. And you'd have me batting there for like bloody ages, because I think you're playing cricket for some team. I think it may have been Redwood or something. And you had me batting, and at first I thought, fuck, when's this going to finish? I can't stand this. But then after about a few hours and after about a few weeks and days, I actually started getting quite good at it. My eye ended up coming in, and I ended up getting really good at batting when it came to cricket. And I ended up starting to really like it. And I started batting you all around. You were bowling to me. I wasn't a very good bowler ever, so you used to just sit there and bowl to me, and then you got faster and faster and faster. But then my eye started picking up, and I started to actually block you and also hit you. But you used to use it for practice, and that was cool. You and I used to have that time, spend some time with me at 219. And with it all, I remember that, cool, I started getting good at it. And then I ended up going to an indoor cricket wicket down near Brayshaw Park on the other side of the bridge there. And I remember it was just, I was probably the only Māori kid there, and they were all Pākehās. And then they all had their flash gears, and I only had me Lance Keen's cricket bat. And I think they were all giving me shit about it. Just, you know, just being kids, just bullying and picking on. And then, you know, I pulled out my bat. They sat there laughing at my bat. But I tell you what, brother, with all that practice you gave me, they didn't laugh much after that. Because I was hitting them for, inside that indoor cricket wicket, I was just going for gold. And, you know, I really started enjoying indoor cricket. But then I gave that up, because by then I just thought, nah, I still can't stand bloody cricket. But I just like the fact that, you know, they were all sitting there laughing at me. But if I didn't get those extra bit of weeks or even months in with you, bro, I managed to actually down trail a lot of them. I smashed them out. I scored a lot of runs too. And then it got to the point when they used to pick teams, I was always one of the first ones to be picked, bro. I think another thing you got me on to playing as well was tennis, where we used to go down to Witherley. Used to take me, and we used to go down there and we used to play tennis together, and I got really good at that too. I think I actually won a few Marlborough tournaments, bro. I don't know if you knew that. When I was a young fellow going into intermediate, I got asked to represent Marlborough in tennis, but it just didn't, in the end I just didn't really follow it up much. But I actually won. You know, I couldn't afford the good tennis rackets, and I went to see Nan's to see if Nan's Trust had any money in it. But of course, all the older ones like Ricky Walker and all those fellas, Tracy Walker and all those fellas, had already used a lot of the money out of it. Thank you, my cousins. Thank you. But the cool thing is that I entered into a tournament, the Marlborough tournament down in Pollard. And because of what you taught me and how you used to take me and to put some time behind me, bro, I actually won that tournament so I could get a tennis racket. A really good pro tennis racket. And I will never forget that, bro. So yeah, that's another one of my little Iti Pounamu memories that I've got of you, bro. Again, see, these are things that are going to live with me for the rest of my life. I'm not going to forget it. I will never forget these memories. Even though you may be asleep down there, my bro, you're not to me. So whenever I close my eyes at night, when I need to see you, I'll see you in my dreams, just like I see Mum. Every day I see Mum. Every day. I see the old man in that too. I mostly see Dad when I need, you know, I suppose when I need to be told off about something or corrected in something. I hear his voice. I hear it even when I'm not sleeping. If I know I'm not making a good decision on something, I can hear him saying, "It's fucking stupid." Or on the flip side, I can hear Mum going, "Hello, my boy." So, you know, I don't forget these things, brother. I love you. But that's just another one of those parts of part 2.